started between these two fantastic players. It's going to be on the SHOUTcraft plateau, and needless to say, Morrow has to be very careful with his map choice because he's one game away from being knocked out into the bronze match.
And if you guys haven't already, go to Twitter, go add both of us, at TotalBiscuit and at Deopol1337.
Shameless self-promotion there.
And also, hash the SCi2. Get speaking on Twitter and start a nice discussion going on. Who's going to win this game? Who do you want to see in the finals? And so on.
Indeed. We shall all check out busy. Everyone is busy. That is wonderful. That is absolutely what we expect. Now, what is going to happen here? This is the SHOUTcraft plateau. This is a little bit different, needless to say. I don't know. It depends how Morrow wants to play it. And by his choice of going to Terminus, he wants to play macro. He wants to play long maps. And obviously, because we've already played Tal'Darim, there's not really too many larger maps left in the map pool. So he's going to go ahead and try to get a hatch up first, most likely, and make sure the second overlord is always waiting on the lower of that ramp to see if a bunker rush is incoming. And unfortunately for Morrow, this map is nowhere near the same size as Terminus, so 2 racks is still very viable here. And we'll have to see, does DDE pull that out? We'll find out very shortly, no doubt. It's a possibility. Morrow will no doubt be looking to expand almost immediately. Good map to do it on. Very narrow ramp relative to other maps. Easy defensive position, very close to your main. Not really a big problem there at all, especially not against Terran. A barracks at the front right here for DDE. That's interesting. I have to wonder if it will be a 2 barracks, possibly a Macarax, which, as we've said before, is 2 barracks with one placed in a proxy position, named after the player Maca Prime. It will be a 2nd barracks there, and he may expand behind this. You know, he has the possibility to do that, but it will initially be some early Marine aggression.
And unfortunately for Morrow, he's going to go up there and scout to the wrong position, which is going to delay his spawning pool. He's already at 16. Will he go to 17 before he even scouts this? So we have to just check. The drone's about to pop. Will he go to 17? No. Okay, he's gone to 17. Wow. Okay.
Oh, that is
17
risky.
Spawning pool. And he would definitely be like, oh no. Okay, let's get that spawning pool up. So spawning pool is going down as well now. And he's going to have to pull 5 drones off, most likely, to deal with this here.
Yeah, this is a good piece of aggression right here from DDE. That said, it is a 2 barracks play. Morrow is extremely practiced against this. We've seen him in, I believe, didn't the same thing happen to him versus Select, as I recall, on this very matchup in the round of 8. And he threw back a 3, yes indeed, a triple bunker contain. However, DDE has got this more interesting style of leapfrogged bunkers as opposed to being very in your face. Now, Morrow has pulled now 3 drones. He almost kills that. A nanosecond longer and that SCV would have gone down, which is going to happen right now. Wow, Morrow just pulled a huge number of drones for that.
Yeah, he only has 8 mining at the moment, and this bunker is, well, will eventually go up. There's no SCV in the train at the moment, so it's just Marines right now, and he's just going to fall back and expand, and with a 3rd additional barracks, he'll be completely walled off and safe as well. So it's just a bit of cute pressure here, forcing a lot of lings, drones to be pulled off and so on, but he's definitely going to go ahead and expand behind this now. Yeah,
I can't see why not. It's perfect. It's a really great place to wall off. He's got plenty of money. He sees no reason whatsoever to invest anything else. I do like the fact that Morrow is, well, actually, he kind of is overcommitting, come to think of it. He's already got 8 Zerglings out. He's now got 12 on the field immediately. And that DDE is doing what he does best. He's dictating the pace of the game.
And another 4 lings in the production tab. Wow, incredible amounts. But he has no scanning information. He has no idea what's going on, so he kind of has to. I'm surprised he hasn't added a spine crawler. It would have been a lot safer than added on more lings. And we are now finally going back to drones. But at the same time, Morrow is completely in the dark at the moment. I mean, he doesn't know, is it an expansion play? Has he added on a lot more barracks behind this? And he needs to find out. Overlord is slowly making its way down to that natural, but it's going to be a long time until Morrow knows what's on.
I wonder if DDE will actually see this wave of Zerglings moving across the map and is immediately pulling back. This wall-off is not complete as of yet. He will no doubt try to do it with the Marines instead, just to spread them. Well, he wouldn't spread them out. He'll try and make a couple of lines to minimize the surface area of those Zergling attacks. There's still 16 Zerglings coming in. DDE is sitting on 10 Marines. He could get a run by here, potentially. It really depends on how this micro goes. Morrow drawing him out of position just a little bit. DDE not being tempted into it whatsoever. Nothing coming out yet for Morrow there. Another 5 drones being added. Doesn't look like he wants to go for the run by. Kind of a shame. He might have been able to do a bit of damage that way.
And we do have double gas, and a lot of gas that is. And actually a little bit of a mistake from DDE. Has 4-in-1 refinery at the moment. And is he going to be thrown down a starport, which very well might follow this up with some Banshee play. He might go for a siege tank, but I think it's going to be starport because he hasn't started a tech lab on any barracks yet. He hasn't, or he's not looking towards getting into stim. So there goes the starport. Yes, it is. Where's the tech lab? There it is.
Yep.
So we are going to be seeing that. And will Morrow have defense against this? Usually you see somebody go for a very nice third base nice and early. Now we're at 7:15, still hasn't done that and has a lot of Zerglings out, so this potentially could kill Morrow out.
Yeah, it could kill Morrow outright. There's no question. There are very few queens on the field, a bit of marine aggression coming in, and this is ideal because if DDE keeps poking with this, he's going to force Morrow to continue to build units and defensive structures to deal with this and not to deal with Banshees. There's no evolution chamber down at the moment at all. He's focusing on speed and nothing else for the time being. In comes DDE with his trademark excellent micromanagement. But will he be able to clean all this up? If he can, then he'll be in a great position to apply pressure. Now, he will be able to do it, but he's not going to be left with much at all. A single, well, 2 Marines will survive, which will be destroyed by that Queen if he tries it. And look at that, though. Look at what he's forced. He's actually forced 2 Spine Crawlers. The weird thing is we're not actually getting a Banshee. This is going to be tanks, and it's going to be a Medivac as well. A Banshee would have worked really well here.
In comes the scatter tank.
Oh.
That was a bit of a mistake, but it's okay. It's not huge. I mean, he shouldn't really have shown that. Would have kept Morrow guessing, maybe made him make a few spore crawls, but unfortunately, a little bit of a mistake there. But we are going to be seeing a Medivac thrown down to go do some harassment. And Morrow is getting up to layer now quite soon too.
I mean, unless he deliberately showed the tank in order to then transition into Banshees, but he's not doing that right now. That would have been the only rational reason behind what he just did. I think it was just a mistake moving the tank there. But hey, there you go. Morrow looking to try and take full map control, which he can do right now. There's no Banshees in play whatsoever. There were no Hellions in play. So he's got the run of the map. He can take a third whenever he pleases. He's got the cash for it. Admittedly, he is vulnerable to drops, which are now coming in to the main. And how much damage will be done? Immediately pulling his entire drone count off of that. Loses 1, not too bad at all. There's 16 Lings in production. They're going to pop out right on top of that drop.
Yeah, and DDE is going to follow this up with another Medivac and 2 tanks. He's going to siege on the lower ground to the left of the spawning pool as well. And they're going to use the... Oh no, don't lose these Marines though.
That would be crucial, and that's what's going to happen by the looks of it. He does say 4, so it's not that bad. Here comes the 2 tanks. It's an interesting maneuver, and it could do some fairly hefty damage. Banelings being morphed in for Morrow as well.
So here comes the siege deployment on the lower ground. Will be able to target fire onto the spawning pool and that gas, and that's pretty bad for Morrow, and he cannot engage this. He has no Mutalisk out. The spy is only at 75%. He's in a lot of trouble here.
Oh, that is nice. Takes the Queen out, and he will annihilate the Extractor. Taking drone fire as well. He got an unbelievable range on that. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Moving in the Spine Crawler now. That's his only real option, but the Spine Crawlers take horrendous fire. He can't keep it there.
Another Medivac with more Marines and 2 SCVs as well. Can repair the tanks. Does he have an engineering bay? Yes, he does. He can add turrets there as well, build a bunker, and just fortify this position.
Really smart play by DDE. Very aggressive, and this is a different style of aggression. I don't think Morrow's used to playing against this at all, and as a direct result, he is taking horrendous losses. The spawning pool is now being fired upon. Bunker going in there, and a missile turret at the back. DDE with his very own personal beachhead. However, Mutalisks are on the way for Morrow.
And this is really, really smart by DDE, and Morrow is in trouble. The spawning pool is only just now starting, and it is in the main, and this attack will continue. 1 siege tank can even be lifted up and put on the high ground if he feels it, and the Spine Crawler's in threat now.
He brought 2 more siege tanks along with him. 4 tanks. That's going to be really hard to deal with. Morrow does not have a huge number of Mutalisks either. There aren't a lot of Marines, but they can move into that, assuming they live. He blocks him off with 2. The tank right there, but it doesn't really matter. He does have Marines now sitting in a bunker, which means that Mutas can't touch them, and 1 cleaned up immediately, and this is still looking horrendous for Morrow.
Another Mutalisk goes down the drain too, and this is how the Korean Terrans have been playing recently. This is why Terran is so dominant right now, is because of getting into these great positions. Zerg can't deal with it. Look, how do you
deal with that?
He can't deal with it.
The way you deal with it is never let your opponent get into that position to begin with, and really this is going to be incredibly bad. That spine crawler is going down before it even deploys. You just threw that away right now. Morrow does not know how to deal with this at all. 3
medivacs more coming in. Another 8 Marines are coming in to launch attack onto the lair. He's going to lose the lair as well now. He's going to try and break through, but there's just not enough here.
He's just thrown his way through. He wants to take both of the tanks out, which is probably a good idea. He didn't lose a huge number of mutas right there. He actually left one. It's like he lost his control of the units right there. Quick pickup by DDE. Incredibly fast reaction time right now. Morrow fighting for his life. The tanks have been cleaned up there. This, of course, will be a bit risky by DDE, having to redeploy them. He could just move in, destroy that lair immediately. Here comes the deployment. The Zerglings moving in. The deployment isn't quite there yet. Straight into the bunker. That's one tank taken out. Looks to take the second one. The missile turret taking a massive toll of Morrow. He holds for the time being, but this is really difficult to come back from. I would like to point out, though, in the meantime, while all this has been happening, Morrow took 2 more bases down to the bottom. So it's not as drastic as it seems. He's just lost a lot of tech, and he's going to lose his lair as well, by the looks of it.
And he's slowly crawling out. He's sacrificing and trading Mutalist for tanks, which in this case is working out very well for him. The bunker does go down, and now DDE is going to have to pick up and leave very, very shortly here. Meanwhile, he has got a 3rd base up. He can lift it and put it on the lower ground now and continue to the next stage of this. And look at this in the middle of the map now. 2 tanks, a lot of Marines are coming to split this map in half, to siege outside that 3rd base, and that is going to be the next problem for Morrow.
Very smart move, and out DDE goes with bare minimal losses. What a great tactic he just showed us right there. The lair's been repeatedly transfused. It is absolutely fine, but here comes the next wave of DDE's plan. He's going to push forward onto the 3rd base. He will be able to annihilate that, I would think, unless Morrow gets in there incredibly fast. In the meantime, he's actually dropped the main again. The lair is going down. Morrow will surely not let this happen, but he doesn't have a choice. The lair goes pop, and the 3rd base annihilated. Well, Morrow was coming back, but right now he's in a horrible position once again.
One Marine does scout out and see that the drones are all up here, and this is it. Morrow's going in. He has to go in now.
He has no choice, but he just took horrendous losses from a siege tank fire. Look at that. He's got 4 tanks deployed in great positions. Morrow is stuck in the middle of the map with really nothing he can do. He wants to try and apply pressure somewhere, but he doesn't know where. If he moves out, he will be attacked. DDE going for the 4th now, which he will wipe out without question. And Morrow just throwing it all in right now to try and defend against this, but there's far too many Marines, unless, of course, DDE uncharacteristically doesn't micro them well. But look at the splitting right here. The micromanagement is great. So many banelings wasted in that, and the counter push comes in. Morrow's attack did barely anything, and of course, in the meantime, the 4th was cleaned up, and DDE now going for the killing blow on the natural expansion of Morrow.
And a lot of banelings are being more 14lings in production, but is it too slow?
I think it's going to be. A couple were picked off. They're going to stream down the ramp. Does he have vision up the top? He does. The tanks will be able to clean up most of those banelings in one salvo, I would think. But a few managed to make their way through. Some damage done. Initial tank taken out, but the rest of it is still alive. Morrow is crumbling under this pressure.
2 lings and 2 mutalisks. Nothing left to do. This is really bad for Morrow now. He's on his last legs. The Queen's under heavy fire, scrambling together. And look at the drone count, though. It's at 44, but look, there's no efficiency there. There's no mining drones whatsoever on that main base. There's nothing but 3 or 4 bases.
GG! DDE knocking Morrow down to the bronze bracket, if you can actually believe that. DDE through to the grand final. One of the lesser known players in this tournament. I think he's just proven exactly why he was in